Is now a good time to buy? What's going on with interest rates and how will that affect your purchasing power? Let's talk about it. Here to talk about all of this is Dawn Gagliardi with the Corrado team at Coldwell Banker Realty. So Dawn, a lot of things are changing. Is it really a good time to buy a house right now with interest rates all over the place?
Well, yes, interest rates have definitely gone up over the past couple of months. We're not sure exactly where they're going to end up, but one thing is for sure that home prices are going up. They've continued to go up over the past 2 years, and what we're seeing now is, where you even start a home is, 10 to 20% over asking is where it will end up. So, for people saying, oh, I just want to wait it out and maybe the interest rates will go down, they probably won't. And if you do end up waiting too long, the, home prices are going to continue to go up and up. So I think, if you really want to purchase a home, if you don't want to rent anymore, if you want to give yourself some equity, I think it's a great time to buy and, give me a call, I can help you out with that.
So it's interesting that it's still a hot market despite interest rates going up.
Yeah, so the reason that is because there's been so much pent-up demand that started at the beginning of the pandemic. So all of these people decided, I want to focus on being a homeowner. I want to focus on putting equity in my own pocket instead of renting and putting equity into someone else's pocket. And what that has done is, there hasn't been enough inventory to satisfy that demand. So we still have a long line of buyers out there who are saying, we need to buy, and there's just nothing to buy because the instant it comes on the market, it's going off the market. So yeah, it's still a really hot seller's market. We still are seeing bidding wars. Every single home that comes on it is going off the market very quickly.
Yeah, so what can a buyer do to be prepared for that, moment that they see that home and they want to get it? And there's so much competition. What would you recommend?
So, first and foremost, I would say call me, call your realtor, and we will connect you with a really great local lender because you want to make sure that you've got all of the money, put together, all of your financials in place so that when you do put an offer in, it's very, very strong. Obviously, if you can buy in cash, that's amazing. A lot of people are doing that now, but that's not always possible. So just having your financials in order is the number one step, I would say. At that point, we can kind of talk about, waiving contingencies. People get afraid and scared and say, oh my gosh, I could never waive a contingency. But we're going in and we're looking with a very critical eye at the, first walkthrough, at the showing, and saying, okay, we know that the furnace is older, we know that the roof, is however old it is, but are you still willing to purchase it regardless of those things? So if that's the case, you can potentially waive the home inspection, or you could say we're still going to perform it, but it's really just going to be for informational purposes. The other thing with being pre-approved in this market with a great, very well-known local lender is that, you put that letter in someone's hand and you say, we are 100% getting to closing. We can waive that mortgage contingency and, get that offer accepted, almost as good as cash.
So right now we're sitting in a home that has been staged, and this is something that you really believe in. Tell me, why is staging so important? What can it do to a sort of average home?
So, in this market, I get a lot of people saying, you don't even really need to stage. It's, every home is selling very quickly, which is true. But when you have a home that's put together that a buyer can walk in and say, oh, I don't have to do a thing. This is just perfect. They can envision their family there. They can envision themselves there. They're going to be willing to pay that much more money. And that's the name of the game right now, is to get the most money possible for the sellers. Because if they're selling, they have to go somewhere, right? So we need to put the most money in your pocket so that you can buy another home that you're going to be happy with. Staging takes away the guesswork. It's going to be modern, clean, bright, open, and it's just really going to take, pictures very well. It's going to show very well. We make sure that everything just really is set to the expectations that buyers have these days.
So Dawn, part of staging, I guess, is also taking things away, right?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things you can do to stage your home is declutter. That means take everything off of your countertops, put everything away. You just don't want anything cluttering up your space.
I love the way this looks too. It just makes me feel clean, organized, and just sort of relaxed.
Yeah, this is the way you wish that you lived, and most of us don't. So what we say is, especially countertops, we want to take most things away, but we do want to leave little touches to, draw some interest and kind of show, hey, this is a home that's being lived in.
So Dawn, I think when people think of staging, they think it has to be elaborate, but really maybe that's not the point, right?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things you can do with staging is to neutralize your space. So you'll notice in this home, we've got a lot of grays and tans and just very light kind of neutral colors. We've also neutralized most of the staging with the furniture and with any type of decoration, but adding a little pop of color is always good. You see some flowers, you see a pop of color in a picture or, some type of plant. That's always great, but you do want to kind of make it as neutral as possible so that buyers can see themselves in the home.
Welcome to my office. Of course, since the pandemic, the one room in the house that a lot of people are looking for, the home office. So when it comes to a home office, what's important?
So with a home office, you want to show that you have enough space to work in. A lot of times you'll have a bedroom that really isn't that big, so using it as a home office is a perfect way to show buyers that they can work from home, especially now since the pandemic. A lot of us do that. You want to show, a little bit of interest, some books, some nice touches over here. A nice globe is great, but you want to keep it very simple. You don't want to clutter the room. You want it to feel like, just bright and open, and I could get a lot of work done here.
How important is the outside?
Well, you certainly want to showcase any, exterior features that a home has. So if you do have a nice pool, if you have a beautiful deck, you want to showcase that. You also want to make sure that your home is nicely landscaped, so mowing the lawn makes a big difference. If you want to, freshen up the mulch, that's great, but I wouldn't go too crazy with the exterior of the home. I'd really focus most of your energy on the inside.
With the market hot and inventory still low, it's a great time as a seller to put your house on the market. But don't forget, building is also an option. And working with a builder and a realtor like Dawn, you can create the house of your dreams. For Seasons Magazine Celebrates, I'm Pat Laurie.